Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil. Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil. Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de
It had a mind of its own tonight.
It did. It wanted to start all over again. I thought I didn't put that on loop. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
You're going to have to excuse me a bit tonight. I have got a bit of a chest cold and a bit of a sore throat. So I'm just going to sit here and smile tonight, thank goodness. And he's going to lead for us tonight. Thank you, my beautiful friend.
Yeah, it's just Kerrie's been sick. I was sick for 3 weeks, and now Kerrie's been sick for about 3 weeks. So we're taking it in turns. And when I was sick, she took over. So it's my turn.
Yeah.
So hello to all you beautiful people that are all on here. Awesome. Kerrie and I were supposed to be at Unearthed Crystals, which is just the most glorious shop in Brisbane. Doing Kerrie was going to do the sound bed, and I was doing my tarot reading. And Kerrie phoned me yesterday and she said, I'm broken. Like, there's no way I'm going to get there. I can't cough and splutter all over people to get them on a sound bed and give them all my germs.
Yeah.
So I ended up there all by myself. Yeah, she is laughing, Esther, but when she laughs, she has coughing fits. So if she goes mute, it's because she's choking quietly to death in the back.
Yeah. So bear with me tonight, everyone. Sorry.
That's okay. So I'm going to do the meditation tonight. It's all about me tonight. I'm going to do the meditation tonight. And I've got some, we've called it the hard yards. I called it that. Kerrie called it exercises for spiritual development. But because she's much nicer than me. But my stuff around this is, it's like, we're in a bit of a wobble at the moment. The whole world's in a bit of a wobble at the moment. And this is all around really quick fixes to get you grounded and keep you grounded. Excuse me, I'm at it too. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run you through just a few of the things that I do. Now, I'll send this out to you because you're never going to remember it all anyway. So I'll send it out to you. And some of them might work for you and some of them might not. And some of them, sometimes if I'm completely off the planet, I'll do them back to back, or I'll combine things. So that's what I'm planning on doing tonight. Yeah, Marani, send Kerrie healing. Thank you. When I had this, I asked for healing. Again, she's more polite than me. I just say help. So let's be sending Kerrie healing as well.
Thank you, everyone. You know what is ironic about it is I had the sound bed, the one that I have at home, all packed up because we've been doing the different expos and also work out in North Ipswich. And I hadn't unpacked it, and I'm thinking what I really need is to get on that sound bed and I'll do the immunity support track. And then I went, I haven't got the energy to set the massage table and the bed up. So, you know, note to self, teach my boys how to actually set it up so they can do it for me. Anyway,
Yeah.
crazy.
Now that you're actually feeling a bit better,
Yeah,
set
I'll
the
do it
sucker
now.
up.
Yeah,
Because I told you off about that the other day
I
on
know.
Thursday. You've been on
Yeah.
your sound bed. No, I haven't. Physician, heal thyself.
Yes,
So,
that's
yeah.
exactly right. It's exactly right.
Yeah. Works better than antibiotics.
It does. It does. I'd absolutely have to set it up. Yeah.
Okay, lovely people. Let's start with our... Hi, Nikki. Let's start with a little meditation, and then we'll move into some of the exercises. Nikki, I know you do this as well. So as I'm talking through this, I'm talking about like exercises that you can do for grounding and staying centered. So if there's anything you'd like to add, just type it up and we'll put it up on the screen, because I know you do this stuff as well. So we'll start with a little meditation. So what I'd like you to do for me, please, is to feet on the ground, sit up straight, big deep breath, breathe in and relax as you breathe out. And again, breathe in, and as you blow it out, let all of the tension in your body disappear. Just let it all go. I want you to imagine that there's a staircase in front of you. And as you put your foot on the first step, the step is red. And you're climbing up these red stairs, up higher and higher and higher. And as you get up some more, you put your foot on the next step, and the step turns orange. And you keep walking up the orange stairs, up higher and higher, totally effortless. It's like you're gliding. And as you put your foot on the next step, the step turns yellow. And you're walking up the yellow step, feeling the energy of joy and happiness as you climb the yellow steps. And as you continue up the steps turn green. You keep walking up the beautiful green steps, higher and higher and higher. And as you put your foot on the next step, the steps turn blue. You keep walking up the beautiful blue steps, higher and higher, totally effortless, walking up the steps. And as you put your foot on the next step, the steps turn indigo. And you keep walking up the beautiful indigo steps, higher and higher and higher. And as you put your foot on the next step, it turns the most beautiful deep purple. And you keep climbing up the steps, higher and higher and higher. When you get to the top of the steps, you look ahead, and in front of you is a bridge. The bridge is rainbow colored. You walk towards the bridge and walk across the beautiful rainbow bridge. Underneath the bridge is clear flowing blue water. You look up ahead and there's a beautiful white building with pillars and beautiful doors. As you walk towards the building, the doors swing open and there's a stained glass window at the back of the building, sending colors like rainbows all across the white walls of the building. You feel yourself surrounded by all of the beautiful colors, and you feel so calm, so relaxed, and so at peace. As you look around, you see that there are people there. You recognize some of these people and walk towards them. These are family and friends who have gone before you. Standing behind these people are your guides and angels. You are welcomed and hugged, and a celebration begins. I'll leave you there with your people for a little while and come back for you shortly. It's time to come back now. Say goodbye to the people that are around you. Thank them for being there. Give everybody a hug. Turn and walk away from the building. Your guides and angels are walking with you back to the Rainbow Bridge. As you walk across the Rainbow Bridge, your guides and angels leave you. You come back down the stairs, down the purple stairs, down the indigo stairs, down the blue stairs, down the green stairs, down the yellow stairs, down the orange stairs, and down the red stairs, until you feel yourself back in your chair. Feel your feet on the floor, your bottom on the seat. And when you're ready, wriggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and open your eyes. And we're back.
Thank you, Annie. That was really good.
That's that normally I only left you there for I think 3 or 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But that stairs and the Rainbow Bridge is a really good way to get connected.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, once you've put yourself in that space, you can stay there for as long as you like. For me, that wasn't long enough. You know,
Yeah.
you need to get bumped in there, and you need to actually sit in that and then come back. But we have a limited time here.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
you know,
That's right.
there is-
What do everyone think? Should I clip that, Annie's audio from that, and just make it into a separate meditation and share it with you all?
yeah.
Yeah,
Can
let
you-
you all
can you
stay a
put-
little bit longer.
Can you put some music behind it as well, Kerrie?
Actually, the whole time I was listening to that, I was thinking this would be absolutely amazing with either 963 hertz music sitting behind it or the 1111 hertz.
Yeah.
You know, it's that beautiful high level connection to your higher self, connection to that higher level source energy. I was thinking that the whole way through it. Yeah, be perfect
Sandy,
with that.
I could hear that, and Sandy said that it sounded like there was like static, somebody playing with a radio station.
Yeah.
And I could hear that
Yeah.
on my computer. So what I might do,
Yeah.
instead of Kerrie clipping that one, is I might record it again with the music behind it, so that we don't get that happening.
Yep.
So I'll do that again. I'll try and do that tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, that was really good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, 1111. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Annie, you've got that track. I've linked you that track, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be beautiful behind it.
Yeah. So I'll do it. I'll try and do it tomorrow. As some of you know, my husband has retired. And now when he makes appointments, I have to go with him because I'm his emotional support person. And he's got me booked for appointments tomorrow, so I might not get to it tomorrow. I will do it though. The other thing is that what I'm going to be doing tonight, I'm going to send out to you as well. So I'll send that out via email so that you can get this as well. So this is about getting centered, staying grounded, calming the farm. And it's just little baby exercises. So the first one I'm going to do, I'm going to run you through it because this one is really, really easy, but it's a bit hard to describe. So I'm actually going to do it. You need to keep your eyes open because you need to watch me and you need to do it with me. And this one is easy peasy. And for me, it instantly centers me. Like if I'm away with the fairies or I'm feeling off or, you know, like my energy's just gone to hell in a handbasket, this one just goes bang and pulls me straight back to, okay, I've got this. So I'm going to show you what to do. So again, feet on the floor, back straight, head straight. So the first thing we do is we tip our head down and back to center. Turn it to the left, back to center. Tip back to the sky, back to center. Go to the right, back to center. Now we go the other way. Down, back to center, right, back to center, back to center, left, back to center. Then down and a big circle all the way around. One way, back to center, then down and a big circle all the way around the other way, back to center. Now breathe and drop your shoulders. It should kind of ground you. How did you feel, Kerrie?
Yeah, I can really feel it, as if you're doing it with the breathing at the same time.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like it brings you back into that inner focus.
Yeah.
And in doing that, it's just really grounding you through that center energy field.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
So that is definitely the sensation of it. Yep.
It also works much better when you've not got me rabbiting in your ear. It's if you just sit there and just and focus and focus on what you're doing, because for me it just brings me back to like centered instead of being all the prairie. It just kind of settles me. Like I said at the beginning, some of this might work for you and some of it might not. But if you play with them and practice, it's all about, Kerrie had it up on her introduction. You have to practice this stuff. You can't just do it once and say, okay, well, I've done that. You've got to practice. And if you practice, eventually you'll find the one that works for you. So the next one is about clearing blockages. So how I do this is I start with clouds, and I imagine all these clouds in my body. And this is to kind of settle things down, because we've all got all this internal chitter chatter going on. So some of my clouds are black, and that's all the issues and crap that's happening. Some of my clouds are grey and some of my clouds are white. And I start at my feet and I just visualize all these fluffy clouds, and I pull the black ones up through my body, all the way up, one at a time, and I pop them out the top of my head, where it all goes up to the universe, and they can sort that shit out because it's too hard for me. By the time I'm finished, I've only got white clouds left. Now, depending on the amount of black clouds you've got and the amount of issues you're dealing with at one time, it can take quite a while to do that. But once you've got yourself to all the fluffy white clouds, just sit in that. Sit in the silence and ask your guides if there's anything you need to know or if there's anything you need to let go. And with all of these exercises, I would say sit in that white for as long as you possibly can. And then once you come out, write down what you hear, feel, see, sense, write it down. And when you do it again, if you do the exercise again, keep writing stuff down, because a message that you get or a feeling that you get or a sensation or a smell that you get might not mean anything in that moment, but it could trigger something maybe the next day or the next week. It's like, wow, I remember that came through to me last week, and it's a really good way of keeping connection.
Yeah.
And then if something happens that goes ping, write it down, because as you do this, you're going to get better at it. And all of these baby exercises are just practice. And two things: one, centering, three things: one, grounding, and three, trusting yourself, because that's the one that people have the most difficulty with. It's like, I got this, I felt this, I heard this, and I thought, nah, it's just my head. It's just rubbish. That's why if you write it down, it makes it real. And then you can go back and have a look at it and go, oh, wow, that happened last week, and this is why, and now I know, So that's just my suggestion. Kerrie's all about journaling, but it's a really good idea.
100%. And that one with the clouds, Annie, that you just went through, just before we came on tonight, we were talking about the new moon that we've got at the moment. So we're in the new moon. The new moon is all about, new beginnings, the next cycle, right? But it's also in Mercury retrograde and Saturn retrograde at the same time, right? So that means, get ready for new beginnings. But to do that, you need to do the work and clear things as well. So that cloud one that you just went through, guys, I would highly recommend doing that, tonight, tomorrow night, do it a bit before we hit Lionsgate on the 8th, because if we can clear everything and set our intentions, Lionsgate's already quite powerful, the 8s, and, coming in for both abundance but intention setting. So it will amplify your intentions. So now's a really good time to clear energy and set those intentions. And I think, Annie, that cloud one, even though it may take you some time to move through it, depending on where you are, is probably a really good one to do for clearing right now as we head into that intention setting, and then set yourself up for Lionsgate on the 8th. Sorry, I'm now losing my voice. That's probably a good thing. I can't ramble for too long tonight.
You just ramble. The other thing, I'll just take over. You just sit there and breathe for a minute, get yourself back together, get your voice back. A lot of people tell me that their head's too busy and all these thoughts keep popping in. And how I do this, for me, this is fun, because what I do is I imagine I've got a river running through my ears and it's going out to sea. And if I'm trying to get myself in a space, like, this is pre-meditation, because my head never stops, like, it's just full of nonsense. So to get myself settled before I step into a meditation, this is one of the things that I'll do. And again, muddle these up, like, if one works, add it to something else, because this is all about stilling your mind. So I just sit quietly, and as a thought pops in, because it's really difficult to shut your head up, and as a thought pops in, I have it fall into the river and off it pops out to sea. Now, some days it's this little babbling brook. Other days it's a freaking tsunami. I've just got so much crap in my head. Sorry. Stop. I can't make her laugh. She starts to cough. But some days it's just this little trickle, and then all of this nonsense comes in. And I just think, oh, for the love of God. So I whack this huge river, and it just, all these thoughts can go away. Off you pop, off you pop. And then once I've got rid of 95% of it, then I'll sit. And if I'm in the meditation, I've turned my river back to this wee babbling brook. And if a thought comes in, I just say, into the river, off you pop. And it calms me down again. Because that staying quiet and staying still, the minute you stop doing something, your left brain says, what's she doing? Why is she not doing anything? Why isn't she thinking? Like, what's happening here? Is she all right? It's so nosy and so busy that it is saying, what's happening here? So that's the bit you've got to calm the farm. So if my left brain is having a hissy fit, what I do to it, and this is the next one, is I tell it to put me in a white room. And I'll say to it, okay, this is your job. Your job is to put me in a white room and keep me in a white room. So my left brain sort of says, okay, she wants to be in a white room. I'll put her in a white room. And if I've got that half of my brain focused on being in a white room, the other half of my brain's free to get anything that pops in. Because this side of my brain's got something to do. It's busy. So that one takes a lot of practice. It took me a long time to be able to white room myself. Because yeah, this brain, like it chitter chatters all the time. With this one, once things settle and you're in your white room, you have to go into these exercises with no expectations. Oh, we've got a palm reader wanting all your hands. If you don't get out of my my blooming live stream, my hand is going to slap you up the back of the head. So off you pop with love and light. Kerrie and Nikki, Kerrie and Colleen will block them. So that's one way of doing it. But like I say, that one takes a bit of practice. That one's a bit more difficult. It's like splitting your head, making one side do something so that messages can come in through the other side. And again, same thing. Anything at all that you hear, feel, see, smell, write it down. Really, really important. The other one, the next one is put yourself in a box, chocolate. Stick yourself in a box and visualize. It can be as little or as big as you want. So put yourself in a box, see the box around you, and invite your guides and angels to come in the box with you. Make the walls of your box so strong that absolutely nothing can get in from the outside world. Nothing, no noise, no nonsense, nothing can get in. So you got to visualize your box, big concrete walls or whatever, but put yourself in a box. Once you've got yourself in the box, just sit. Now, sometimes if I put myself in a box, I need either my tsunami or my clouds to clear so that I'm sat in the box and my head's empty. Because again, that empty head stuff, that's where people get stuck, in that not being able to get their head empty. So again, we're journaling. Take your journal in with you, because you don't need to do this with your eyes shut. You can just sit in your little box and wait and see what happens. No expectation. You might get absolutely nothing. Journals, journals, journals. I've got the same. I've got hundreds of the suckers. I can do that too. Ta-da. Ta-da. Whoops. There's more. They're over there as well. But write it down. Write it down. And, these are things that you can go back to. And you're not going to, again, this leads into what my next stuff is around. And this does involve a journal. Now, this is a separate journal. You need to be the boss of your guides. That's why we set our intention. Like if you aimlessly faff around and think, oh, I'll do this or I'll do that or I'll do a reading, your guides have got no freaking idea what you're doing, And it's really important. Like I set my intention for everything. It is my intention too. And I'm telling them this, see, they're there. This is what we're doing. And this is what I want you to do for me. So with all of these too, and you should know this already because we keep hammering you on this one, set your intention, ask for protection. No matter what you do, because when you do any or all of these, you're opening yourself up. And I assume that you know you've got to set your intention, get yourself grounded, ask for protection. Always, always, always. So with this final one, this is like a psychic dictionary. Now, Kerrie talks about chrysanthemums, and when she sees chrysanthemums, that reminds her of her mum. Now, my mum is carnations, but there's no point in being airy-fairy about this, because if I'm doing a reading for somebody and I see carnations, what does that mean? Does that mean the person's mum is here? Does that mean somebody's sending her carnations like love from the other side? Does it mean she likes carnations? Does it mean she has a garden? Has she got a flower shop? You can't just be faffing around with this stuff and be really, really airy-fairy. You need to say, like with Kerrie, if I see carnations, that is my mum. So what's that going to mean for me? Is the person I'm reading for, is their mum here? Is that what it means? Or is there another connection? But you've got to nail it, because there's no point. Like I was doing a reading, and it was psychic, it was mediumship reading. And I saw my Uncle Bob. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And I said to this lady, I said, I've got this man here, and he's little, and he's stout, and he's really like happy. And it feels like, it did feel like a father figure. And I said, what I'm seeing is my Uncle Bob. And she went, oh my God, that's my dad. His name was Bob. And that was what he looked like. So if you get really specific, if you show me a person that I recognize, might not be their person, but if I see a person that I recognize, then I can say, well, this is what their shape was, or this is what they looked like, or whatever, you know, it makes sense. So I've got my own, this is how we're working, guys, because if you let them know how you work and how you can interpret, then it makes life easier for both you and them. They know what you need to see, but really specific. My dad had this smell in the morning, and it was a mixture, because Dad smoked. So it was a mixture of soap and tobacco. And when I smell that, it's always Dad. Like I know it's my dad. Sometimes my brother sends me music, like he batters me with Phil Collins. So I've got all my, Kerrie, you've gone mute. Unmute, woman. So it's about being really specific and about saying, if I see this for me, that's what it means.
I'm
I'm
not sure. I'm pretty sure I've seen Les in chat tonight,
yeah,
but that's a nice synchronicity, Annie, because when I was chatting with Les the other night, he was talking about getting a particular scent and knowing who that scent relates to. So, you know, it's all part of that. And this is where journaling, I agree with you, the more that you can sit in that quiet and allow yourself, you know, obviously your cleansing and your prayer of protection, but the more you can sit, do a meditation and start that communication with your own guides. Now, I'm not talking automatic writing here. It's like a dictation, you know, where you're having that conversation, you're writing down what you're getting. The more that you're actually doing that, the more you're creating almost your own dictionary of those interpretations.
Yeah.
And then it becomes easier as you go along. But that's why the practice, guys, is so important. Like, I believe everyone has these gifts, but if you don't practice it and you don't use it, then you'll flounder with it. You know, the more that you actually do with it and the more that you trust it, the more you'll get validation of it as well, that the interpretation is correct with what you're getting. So it's just such an important thing. And it can be smells, it can be, you know, seeing something in particular. If it is someone that comes in, another one that I often get is symbolism of a tree And depending on whether they're on a top branch or a side branch or where they are, that's like the family tree to me. And I can sort of go, oh, that's where this person is in the family, you know, and it's a very quick way for them to communicate. But if I hadn't have sort of sat there and done all that work to begin with, you could interpret it in a million different ways, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Some of that stuff is not like I use my tarot cards. They're my comfort blanket. You know, that's my security blanket. And more now, I'm finding that I'm just talking, and I forget to turn my cards over, and then I remember I've got cards in my hand, and I turn them over, and I go, I've just said that, you know, and that's just practice. The symbolism is really, really important, you know, and I've got, this is like a challenge for you to be able to do this, to be able to start to create your journal. And this is like involving the 5 senses. So one day or for 1 week, everything that you possibly can smell, everything. Now, a lot of people have a scent around them, you know, like a perfume. I was reading for this lady and I could smell tweed. Tweed's a really, really, really old perfume. It's one like your granny used to wear, you know. And I said to this woman, I've got the scent of this perfume, this really old perfume. It was tweed. Now, her grandma used to wear it. So that was validation that her grandma was there and with us. So for every single thing that you smell, you might smell stupid things. You know, you might smell cooking. That could link for you to somebody who was a chef. It could link to somebody's kitchen. Again, it's really, really individual what you choose the symbol to be. If you smell roses, stick your nose in them. And if that smell comes to you, smell everything, like not just normal stuff. Smell bits of wood, you know, smell flowers, smell bits of wood, smell grass, you know, because all of these things help you build on your repertoire. You know, like if I smell grass or if I smell wood, was he a carpenter? I've got the scent of wood. That's one of the ones my uncle sends me, because when I was a wee girl, I used to play with him, and he used to let me plane things. So I would play with the plane, and I would sit with the wood shavings, you know, the curls that come off the plane. So any single little symbol that you can think of. Sometimes you might see a key. What does a key mean for you? You might see cross keys. What do cross keys mean for you? Is somebody at a crossroads, you know? And it sounds really, really simple. So the first day, smell everything, anything you get your hands on. And yes, it sounds ridiculous, but what does wool smell like? You know, what does leather smell like? Then what does that mean for you? You know? So once you, like, the leather could be a saddle. What's a horse mean for you? What's a cow mean for you? You know, all of that, and get it really, really specific. So we smell. The next day we touch things, because we also feel. So feel everything. Feel colors. Does this color feel warm? Does it feel cold? What does it remind me of? What's the emotion attached to it? You know, because it's okay saying, oh, I've got purple, but purple, everybody sees bloody purple. It's everybody wants to be purple for some unknown reason. It's supposed to be spiritual, so everybody just, I want to be purple. Myrtle, I want to be purple. You know? So for you, what does purple mean? You know, purple is regal. Or, you know, you'll see yellow. For you, what does yellow mean? If you're getting colors, what does that mean for you? Because it's okay saying to somebody, I'm surrounded by yellow. Yes, yellow is my favorite color. It means nothing. You know, if you see yellow, what does that mean for you? If you see flowers, what does that mean for you? So we've got smell everything, feel everything, taste anything that's appropriate to taste, because you'll get taste. Taste isn't the most common. It's quite a rare one that you'll get the taste. Smell's more common than taste, but taste everything. So that if you get the taste of something in your mouth, what's that? And then observation, looking at everything. We get so caught up in our heads. I work at the Soul Cauldron out in Ipswich, and they've been there now for 6 years. And I was outside having a smoking ceremony. That's what I'm calling having a fag now. It's now a smoking ceremony because it makes it much more important than having a fag. So I'm doing my smoking ceremony, and I looked across the road, and there's this tower, and it's got stairs that go up at all different angles and like a square at the top. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, what the heck is that? I hadn't seen it before. And I went back into the shop and I said to Marina, what's the tower over there? Tower? What tower? What is this tower of which you speak? And I said, it's over there. Like you can see out the shop. No, it's in that thing. I've never seen that before. I said, how long have you worked here? 6 years. And I said, and how long have you lived here? Oh, about 36. Never seen it. Never even noticed it. And because we're on automatic pilot, we don't see what's around us. We don't pay any attention to what's around us. But if you get really, really good at observation, you're going to pick up more cues. So again, anything that you see or that's in your vision, what does that mean for you? And write it in your journal. And all of this is just about building your practice, and it's about building your skills. Now, whether you're doing this just for you or whether you're doing it so that you can read for people or whatever your motivation, if from this all you take is how to calm your mind, how to still your head, how to put yourself in a box and settle, because all of these work wonders for meditation. And all of these are practice for meditation, all of them. And so many people, I hear it all the time, I can't meditate. Well, there's an expectation. The minute you say, I'm going to meditate, their head goes, what's she doing? She's not doing anything. So these are not meditation, not.
No.
They're exercises to calm you, to get you to a space where you actually can meditate. But there will be times when you find yourself and, you'll come out your box and you'll think, that was a bloody meditation. Whoa, I can do it. No expectation.
Yeah.
And that's the bit that stuffs us up, because people have put expectations on meditation. I'm supposed to be able to do this and I can't do that, and all that nonsense. So no expectation, and trust anything that you see or hear or feel or touch or taste.
Yeah.
So that is my message for you all tonight.
Yeah.
So I hope that some of these exercises you'll find useful. And like Kerrie said, you need to practice.
Yeah.
Practice. And with the journaling, that one is really important. I was talking to a young woman, I was reading for a young woman today, and I said to her, do you journal? And she said, no. She said, I pick it up and I look at it, and I've got no blessed idea where to start. And I don't know what to write, ever. And I look at it and I think, what? And I said to her, well, maybe you start with, what did I do that was good today? Now, she's in a really shitty situation at work. It's horrible. And she's trying to get out. And she said, well, what do you mean? And I said, okay, so she's a teacher. So you helped a kid today? Yes. So you had a breakthrough with a kid? Yes. So you didn't stab anybody with your pen? No. So no killing? No. I said, well, write that down. Did not stab anybody, and I helped that person. And then, it's sort of, for her, that was like a confidence building thing, and if you get really, really cranky, write that down too, had a really bad day today, this happened. And then once you've written that down, sit with it sit with it and think, how bad was it? Was it really that bad? Or have I blown this all out of proportion? How did I deal with it? Am I happy with how I dealt with it? How could I have dealt with it better?
Yeah.
What would I do the next time? And all of that is like self-development, you know? And all of that is about calming the farm. And, you know, people can only piss you off if you let them. And if you let them, then they've won. So if you take all that angst and toxicity from wherever you've been or wherever you are, and all that misery that's out there home with you, that's what you're sitting in. So what happened? How can I deal with it? What did I do? What could I do better? Then throw yourself in the shower and wash it down the drain.
Yep.
Don't let that stuff. The energy of the earth at the moment is all over the place, which is one of the reasons why Kerrie and I just thought it's time to sit and settle everybody, you know. And you're allowed to be mad and you're allowed to be sad. But when that happens, sit in it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's really, really important to sit in it and think, okay, I didn't do that very well. How could I have done that better? The other one around that one is, why do I feel like this? What triggered me? I think that one's hard. You know, what triggered me? Because if you work out what triggers you and write it down, then the next time it happens, you think, this is a trigger. I haven't learned this lesson yet.
That's what I'm reacting to. It's not actually the situation. It's the trigger. Yep.
It's something that just pushes my buttons. Why is this pushing? Why does this make me so angry? You know, a lot of that is usually inner child values, stuff that's not fair, stuff that doesn't resonate with you, stuff that you would never do to anybody ever. But you need to sit in it and you need to work out, I didn't deal very well with that, or I really let that affect me. Why did I let that affect me? And I'm still angry and it's 6 hours later, you know? So that's some of that stuff is again for personal growth and personal development, but also for spiritual growth and spiritual development. You need to get yourself sorted before you can start sorting anybody else, basically. You need to really know yourself.
Yes.
I've talked enough. It's your turn.
Running through all of that, Annie, regardless of what exercise that you're working with, I just also encourage people that as you're working through that, just watch that you're not shallow breathing. Take that breath right down to the diaphragm, right down to the base of the lungs. Really oxygenate the body, which allows the energy to flow so much better, both in through the physical body, but the energetic body as well. Because you'll be able to get to those places so much easier if you're actually using the breath work as part of that energy release and as part of that practice as well.
Yeah. And you know what I'm like? Like I'm just a shocker. See if you get to that point. I've got this thing where I fluff up your aura. And I was actually, we had Karen at the gathering talking about energy work. And what she does to clear energy is what I do with aura fluffing. So it's like starting at, you know, your base chakra, and you do this and you're just fluffing up your aura. And it's moving and see, I've got tingles already because it
moving
just,
and shaking.
yeah, and it's clearing anything, you know. And what Karen does is she sort of start at your feet and just fluff your way up, and then she flicks it. And she either flicks it into the atmosphere, flicks it into the ground, or flicks it into a bowl of salt. And that one's really fast. That just fluffing up your aura, changing your energy, shifting everything around, flipping the energy into positive and clearing the negative. Off you pop with love and light. It's like fast clouds.
Yeah.
And then what she does is she seals it with an S and straightens. So she does this across your body and then seal.
Yeah. Sealed.
Another one to try.
Yep. Another one to use. Exactly. And also, you know, self-healing, which goodness knows I've been working on myself, but just sitting here tonight is really good at doing it for everyone else, really bad at doing it for myself. So here we go. Practice, 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 right? It goes for us as well. Something else that can be really helpful as well is clapping, believe it or not, clapping and sort of looking up. That one activates the energy in the meridians in the center of the palms, the little chakras here, which actually sends that energy and vibration through the body. And the sound of that vibration as well is also really good for clearing. So it's a really simple one to do to help clearing. But you'll get to know what works for you in each of these. But when you're in that space, then you're most open to tap into that higher level intuition and creativity, and to be able to get all that down and really move that spiritual journey forward, because you're in the right energy to tap into all of that.
When I go to bed at night time, I pull in white light energy and I start at my feet and I set my intention, and I say, I'm pulling in the glorious white light of the universe. I'm sending it up through my body, and I do toes, feet, heels, ankles, and I just move it all up my body. And as I'm moving it up through my body to the top of my crown and sending it out through my crown, I'm saying, I'm cleansing and healing every cell in my body. It's cleansing and healing every cell in my body. It's cleansing and healing as I come up. It's clearing my organs. It's cleansing and healing every cell in my body, you know. And again, the intention, because that white light healing every single night. And by the time you get to the top of your head, you're 95% asleep and you just should drop off. The other thing about that is it stops the thoughts racing, because you're busy, you're doing stuff. You're cleansing and healing every cell in your body. Maybe you should try that tonight, Miss Kerrie.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And even just with that, you know, in certainly recognizing that I've had this chest and it sort of goes up and goes down. So every day that I've sort of not been committed is when it seems to sort of hit me as well, you know, or shouldn't have been committed on a certain day. It's like my body knows that that's the time. But I actually, and I told you this the other day, I actually did a cleansing, not just for myself in smudging myself and clearing my own energy, but also the house, the grounds, the whole area, being able to clear the energy that's around me as well, because there's a huge energy shift as well that's occurring at the moment. So I'm not just using it to clear myself, but clear my space as well at the moment, to try and get that balance completely back. Because, you know, as I know, illness appears in your energetic body long before the symptoms actually appear physically. So obviously I've not been doing the right connection, or, you know, running the energy into the ground a little bit, or not using it where it should be, because, you know, so we're all susceptible to it, guys, right, at different times. So even though we know this stuff, sometimes we get so busy we forget this stuff, and then, you know, ramifications of doing that. So getting back into that right again.
That's really interesting, because before you came on tonight, Bubble Girl and I were having a conversation, and Colleen said, I think tonight's session should be practice what you preach.
Well, look, I own it, guys. I absolutely own that, because we sit here and share all these things with you. I'm far, far, far from perfect in putting this into practice as much as I absolutely should, you know, and I should know better because I know this stuff. But sometimes it also comes in as a bit of a reminder, you know, because you said get on this
this pathway and you think, oh yeah, I'm already at that level, or I'm already doing this, you know. But no, actually you do need to take time out and make sure that energy is in the right space. Don't ignore that.
I'm going to torture you now because Gail has come back. There was a song came out and it went viral when COVID that I don't believe in hit. And it was every little cell in my body is healthy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is healthy. Every little cell in my body is well. Healthy and well, healthy and well. Every little cell is healthy and well. Healthy and well, healthy and well. Every little cell is healthy and well. And I used to sing that all the time. I want to flip back one. I have real problems with my hips. I'm like 6 foot tall. My center of gravity is all over the place. You know, my hips and my lower back really struggle. So when I do that white light, you know, I'm clearing any dis-ease. I stop on my hips and I stop on anywhere that has a particular ache or pain or twinge or whatever. And my hips are so much better just by simply doing that. You know, because you can heal yourself. And again, it's intention.
Yeah,
It's just intention. Right. And like sometimes if I'm struggling, like where you're at the moment, like I call on my angels, and it's usually Raphael. He's a very busy man in my world. And I'll say, Angel Raphael, please place your hands on my feet. Send your healing energy through my body. And I do the same thing. I pull it up through my feet all the way up to the top of my head. And I know it sounds, you know, the least airy-fairy person in the universe here, but that healing works. It works if you do it to yourself, and it works if you do it for others. Healing saved my child's life. Nothing. My kid was a miracle kid, and that was 47 years ago. Healing saved my child's life. So, you know, I can't even argue with that one. This stuff, it works. And all of this stuff works. The meditation, the silly exercises, the calming of your head. Life's not supposed to be hard.
No,
You know,
it's not. It's not. And Abraham Hicks, actually, for those, I mean, I guess most of you have heard of Abraham Hicks, actually describes it really well. Similar idea with the river, Annie. You know, that if you're in the river and it's flowing in a certain direction, but you're constantly flowing, you know, rowing against the tide, then that's extremely tiring, you know. But when we actually just release and actually go with the flow and start enjoying the scenery around us, and we actually allow that flow to move through us, then we're more in sync with the energy and what's going on. And I think sometimes we forget that we need to be in that flow, not fighting against the flow, which is what we do. We do.
My son's got a tattoo that says, be like water.
You
know, there's a thing that they do with kids. It's a whole day program. And it's the difference between being a rock and being water. And being a rock, nothing will shift you. You know, like you're static, you're grounded, you're static, and nothing will shift you. And you get stuck in that position. But if you're like water, you can just
go over it and around it
gently and erode the rock eventually.
Still towards that destination and that journey where you're meant to be headed. Yeah. Very much so. Esther made a comment too, you know, she always goes back to basics. Yeah. And this has been a good reminder for me, I think, Esther, over the last few weeks, back to basics, back to that groundwork of what actually really works. Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay thinking I can do this. But every now and again, like I haven't got to, I can do this yet. I still do my exercises. I still set my intention. I don't make any assumptions that this stuff is just going to happen because I want it to.
Yeah.
You know, like I do every single day. Every single day. I do it and it happens. You know, and the miracle of it for me is that it works because I trust that it's going to. You know, and I know that I'm going to have if I go through my if I don't do it, and I get caught short and I don't have time to do it, then nothing works for me. It all goes to hell in a handbasket. You know,
Mhm.
so this, for me, the
It is.
basics are the most important. You know, you
Mhm.
need to keep your feet on the ground.
Yeah, the grounding, the
Yeah,
clearing,
yeah,
the protection,
yeah,
the in sync. And I think working with your senses and really thinking about that really improves practice. I think that's a really great exercise for people to do.
yeah.
AJ, our beautiful AJ, was saying before that recently someone keeps poking her in her eye as she's going to sleep a couple of nights in a row. I'd love to figure what someone wants me to know. You know, what's interesting about that, and I'm sorry they're poking you in the eye, they could be a bit nicer, is that I have also, through that process of clearing your mind and sitting with your angels, whether that be in the box or within a room of light or wherever you are, and you're connecting with your guides and angels. And as they come in, I've also in the practice of asking them for a physical sign, because they will give you a physical sign, So when I'm going throughout my day and something's happening and, they're trying pretty hard, they're giving you angel numbers, or they're dropping a feather over here, or there's a synchronicity over there, I'll also get the physical sign. And through knowing that physical sign, I know who it is that's actually trying to get my attention and who wants me to sit and actually go into that space to listen and communicate. So, AJ, to work out who that is, because, it is really annoying. When you've done a cleansing, a prayer of protection, right, and you're sitting in that space to communicate with your guides, ask them for the physical sign. Ask them who it is. So ask for their name and ask for the physical sign, because you'll start to be able to link together who it is at any point of time that's trying to communicate with you.
Yeah, it's like what I say about my numbers. Just send me a bloody email. Don't make it all convoluted.
It's quite funny. Like, I know who it is. I know who it is that's trying to get, if this one side of my face feels like someone's running their hand with one finger down the side of my face, I know exactly who it is who's meant to try to get my attention. So, different signs, but they'll always use the same calling sign. Once they've given it to you, it'll always be that same physical sign.
Yeah, and tell them to stop poking you in the eye.
Yeah.
Tell them to find a gentler way of communicating with you.
Mm-hmm.
Not poking you in the eye. Are we going to pull some cards, Miss Kerrie?
I think we should. I think we should. It's that time of night, isn't it?
I've got the energy cards.
Okay. Let's see, message for the collective.
Okay, so funnily enough, I've got a journal. Just saying. With a pen.
It's a very beautiful pen.
It's a very beautiful journal too.
Mm-hmm.
For me, this is the key.
There's the key. Funny that didn't you talk about keys?
Journaling, writing things down. There's a flip side to this card as well. And the card is actually the storyteller. And around that, this is be careful the stories you tell yourself, because you can create your own reality. And when you do this, nothing is happening, and I don't believe this, and I don't think this is real, or I don't think this is right. You're training your body to not believe your instincts. So that storyteller bit is really relevant. So always stay in the positive with this. And if you think, well, healing won't work, it's really rubbish, it won't work. So you need to have trust and faith in yourself, and my beautiful journal, and write things down.
Yeah.
The next one I got was sacred reverence. And this is all exactly what we've been talking about tonight. It's about getting into your heart space. It's about getting to the real you. It's about working from your heart. And strangely enough, there's a key on that one as well, right in the middle, right there.
Yeah, that's incredible. And look, there you go. Esther's just saying her dad gave her keys in her meditation. So, guys, there's a lot of keys that have been given to you tonight too. Like, these might seem like easy or simple sort of exercises, but they are keys into doing this sort of work. And it's interesting you're given that key in the meditation, Esther. Really interesting.
My stuff around, I don't make anything complicated because I'm pretty stupid. And I don't want complicated. You know, when people go all airy-fairy on me, it just annoys the shit out of me. And my thing around that is you're all born with intuition. Everybody's got this. It's Esther actually said it up here. It's a muscle that you need to keep building on. Correct. You know, and it's like learning to swim, learning to ride a bike, learning to do anything. It's learning to use your intuition. And when people make it complicated and say, you know, I'm special because I can do this, or, you know, meditation, come and do a meditation and this is what's going to happen, you know, and it doesn't. And then you lose faith in yourself. It gets complicated, and none of it is complicated. It's perfectly normal. You've been doing it since you were 2. In fact, you've been doing it since you were born, you know, but that stupid left brain gets in the way and starts making things confusing and hard. And that's why the basics are the best. And the simpler you can keep this, the easier it is. It doesn't need to be like, you don't need to sit in a room for 3 hours humming. You know, you can do that head thing in 5 seconds and you're centered. You know, and some people might take 3 hours of meditation to get there, but you can do it really fast. Bang. Fluff your aura, clear your energy, bang. You know, and that saves people sitting there thinking, I can't meditate, and what am I going to have for my dinner? And this isn't working for me, because it's not complicated. Not in my world.
Yeah. So lots of keys to get you there. So it's interesting with the cards coming out, isn't it?
Endless possibilities. And it's all up here. Third eye stuff. Endless possibilities. You've got the keys. Trust.
Beautiful. Thank you, Annie. And of course, this is, you know, never surprises me, but in line as well. Just quickly, Belinda was saying that she's getting a little statue moving and she knows who it is, but what's the message? Belinda, interestingly, as soon as I read that, statues are meant to be statues and they're not meant to move. So here's the thing with interpretation. You are the best person to work out what the interpretation of that could be. And I'm going to give you an example here of 2 potential ones, but you need to know what sits right with you. Statues are meant to be still. So is the message that's coming through to you is that you need time to just be still. You need time to actually do this meditation, put that box around you, reconnect with your higher self, reconnect with you. Is that the message, right? Or is the statue moving saying that you have been too still, that you need to actually take action on something? Now, you're the only one that can actually answer that. Which interpretation is that going to be? But it's just an example of how the more you sit with yourself, the more you're going to go, that's the interpretation of that message, and this is what they're trying to tell me. So I hope that helps with that one just a little bit. Okay, so surprise, surprise, the Hermit. Look at that beautiful little light that they're sitting in. They could be in a box. Funny about that. So again, it's about, you know, taking that time to know how you interpret things, how you receive information, and then going, you know, learning how to expand on that. So again, the Hermit. So if you're feeling like you do need to take some time out just for you, this is a card saying yes to the collective, this is a time to be doing that. The next card that came out is it's all about the balance, bringing yourself back into balance, balancing that energy, balancing where you are, right? Two of Pentacles. Now, this card can go a lot of ways. It can mean that you're also in a bit of a swing and a roundabout too, right, with this going on. But yeah, definitely about bringing that balance in. So all of these exercises are designed to help you balance your energy, reconnect with your higher self, listen to yourself, tune into the psychic senses as well as our physical senses. So it's about bringing in the balance between all of those and integrating how they work together. And look at this, ready for the beginning of a new journey, right? Going across that tightrope, getting a whole lot of good ideas and just moving forward on that journey. So just three lovely cards that relate exactly to everything that we've been talking about tonight. And it actually fits in beautiful. This is the Page of Swords, by the way, if anyone was wondering. But this is about, you know, not looking down, not thinking about, you know, is this okay, but trusting in yourself and trusting in the ideas and the inspiration that you're having, okay? Because that's the next part of the journey. It's going to be okay. And you're going to be okay because you're in balance. There you go.
Thank you, Miss Kerrie.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everybody, for being with us. Thank you for fighting through your flu. I'm really grateful to you for that as well.
Thank you for doing such a beautiful, I mean, you know, you're all over this and taking the lead on our topic tonight and jumping in for me this week and letting me I just sort of sat back and smiled. It was good.
And you look pretty. All good. If you're like this, now I need to say thank you to people because, especially to Gail,
Yes.
because we asked for people to like our Angel Feathers site because we couldn't get anything happening on it. We couldn't get our live streams up on there, and only because they've changed the blooming algorithm, and we didn't have enough people. So thank you to everybody who's actually gone on to our Angel Feathers, and thank you to Gail for sending it out to everybody she knows, because now we're on Angel Feathers. So thank you all so much for that. If you like and share, that also helps us because it flicks. I don't know anything about algorithms, but it gets us higher up the ratings so people can, especially on YouTube, because we're not at a point on YouTube where we've got enough followers to be able to, I don't know what, if you get enough followers, they put adverts on and stuff, and we're not at that point yet.
Yeah. And you know, it's not even really about that, but what will happen too is that as those likes and comments go in, and it's really great, like if you do jump into YouTube, give us a follow there as well. Still Angel Feathers Spiritual Sanctuary and School on YouTube. You'll still see the same logo there. What helps with that is that people that show interest in these sorts of topics, it'll suddenly start coming up in there for recommended. And so that really, really helps us out a lot, helps us grow the community and also share this information at a time, I believe, in what the whole world is going through, that we really need to build this community and share information with each other and lift each other up, which is something that I love from all our chat as well, is how everyone does that and how we get to watch all of your journeys as you're moving through just exponentially in so many circumstances, in leaps and bounds on the journey that you're meant to be on. And that's just so exciting for all of us. So,
Gail's just saying that when she sent out the invitations, it came to my Facebook page. And I just thought, yes, I can like me. Ding.
Yeah.
I'll add myself to this. Ding.
And that's quite funny because when we've been putting it on each other's, I always go and like yours, Annie. And then it'll come up and we'll say, I haven't liked it. And then I realize, oh, I was Harmony for Tranquility when I liked it. Now I'm me. It's funny how it works. So, yeah, thank you all so much and for all your support.
and your interaction in chat with us and with everyone else. Yeah.
We will see you in a fortnight.
Mm-hmm.
Have a safe cup. Oh, no, I don't think I will see you in a fortnight. Am I off?
Annie might be in Antarctica.
No, Alaska.
Oh yeah, Alaska. Sorry.
I could be in Alaska, freezing my butt off. I think you may have Kerrie and Amanda next time
Yes.
around. I don't think I'm here.
Yes,
if I pop
yeah.
up, it means I've not gone yet.
Yeah. So that's going to be lots of fun. Yes, Alaska. So if Annie's off in Alaska, the beautiful AJ has said she'll come and co-host with me that night. So that'll be lots and lots of fun.
Thank you, Esther. Whoop, whoop. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. If you follow me on Facebook, I'm just going to drown you in photographs.
I do think we've got one more, Annie, before you go away. I do think
maybe
we've got
I'm
one
not
more.
away yet.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I think you've got one more. But anyway, if Annie's not here, I will definitely see you in a fortnight's time, and I will have a voice back by then because I'm going to get myself on the sound bed.
And thank you, Colleen, for blocking all these naughty people that came into our blooming chat tonight. Everybody on here, you know what to do. Ignore them, block them, report them, make them go away. I will. Hopefully, I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Oops, I suppose I better get to Brand and do the outro better.
That would be a good idea, Miss Kerrie. Love you all. Be safe.
Good night, everybody.
Do your homework. Bye-bye.